Are we all awake? Well, just in case not, I'm sure you're going to be. Now we're going to have Mr. Shridhar, the next speaker. He's the founder of Motivaluate. He's a certified public accountant and a chartered accountant with over 25 years of experience in financing, accounting, budgeting, treasury, and audit. Shridhar works with individuals, business owners, and organizations to help them achieve financial leadership and excellence by inspiring the bottom line through better business decisions, through practical ideas on business acumen, financial tools, leaderships, and communication skill training. Before setting up Motivaluate, Shridhar was the Eastern Hemisphere Regional Financial Controller of Boritz International, a multinational oil and gas service organization. Prior to that, he held various positions in operational finance and treasury with Baker Hughes for over 10 years. During his career, he has worked in Middle East, Europe, North Africa, Russia, Kazakhstan, and Southeast Asia. He is an energetic and dynamic professional, keynote speaker, and a trainer in areas of business acumen, financial skills, leadership, and communication. His passion for speaking and his electrifying personality are legendary that you will witness. Please welcome Shridhar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
I'm glad some of you are awake. How many of you responded to this greeting of mine? Okay, how many of you, didn't know what's happening and said, okay, let me wake up now? Be honest. And how many of you really do not care whether it's afternoon or the morning? Thank you very much. You're being honest. I like honesty. Here's a question to you. How many of you think that we are returning to good times? Okay, that's about 50% of the audience think we are returning to good times. So those of you who don't believe we are returning to good times, where do you think we are heading? Sorry? To the bad times? You still think we're heading to the bad times? I believe we're heading to the good times. And I have a very simple question to all of you CFOs. Is this a time to lead or to manage? Okay, that's like 10% of the audience saying always the time to lead.
No, both.
So or do both. I was in college, and one of our professors asked me, what is direct costs, and I answered it. And he asked me some other question, and for some reason he asked me a particular example of cost, and he said, is this a direct or indirect cost? And I said both. And he asked me one question after that, which I don't want to ask you. He said, are you male or female? I looked at him. I said, I wish I could say both. But you'd think I'm, going the wrong direction. But here's it is, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who believe that we need to lead, yes. And I'm not surprised that we are in a minority. Because the last 5 years, guess what? We have been managing for austerity. Am I right? We have been managing for austerity. Everything that we did, and you've seen the presentation since the morning. The first speaker, Mr. Sanjeev Mehta, said, it's not about cost control. I think even Ramesh said, it's not how much can we cut costs. You can cut it down to the bone, but what after that? But that's what we have been doing all along, managing for austerity. And since about 50% of the audience felt that we're returning to good times, and I believe that there's another 20-25% who don't want to say that we're returning to good times because we are accountants and we've been drilled into being conservative. We don't want to believe that the good times are coming back. I'm here to tell you, yes, we are getting back to the good times. And my point is very simple. We need to learn how to lead for prosperity. Because the strategies that we had managing for austerity will not work while we want to lead for prosperity. And I'll say that again. The strategies that we used to manage for austerity will not work when we want to lead for prosperity. But what's the big difference? Sanjeev said that he gave a great presentation and he talked all about having a great vision. We had people speaking about innovation. Ramesh spoke about innovation. The gentleman from SAP spoke about innovation. How does one lead for prosperity? How does one lead for prosperity? Is it an easy task? Let me ask you this question. How does one take those steps that everybody since the morning has been speaking about? How do you get that vision? How many of you have a great vision in your organization? 2, 3, 3 hands. Okay, 4, 5. How many of you have a great vision in your organization? Thank you very much. I think I'll have to work a lot more hard to keep this audience awake. How many of you can stand up and recite your organization's vision as if it were your own today and now? 1 out of a room of, okay, 2. I think there's a slow motion happening. Okay, 3. 4. Come on. When I ask a question, I want you to answer me back, please. If you have your BlackBerry switched on and it's distracting you, please switch them off. I've given off mine to the young lady here. Thank you, Jaya. How many of you, if you cannot recite the vision of your organization, how do you think you are going to get your organization moving in the direction that the organization wants you to go? Now, what do leaders do? They lead. And is leadership, what is leadership all about? It's about a vision? Creating a vision.